Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one's coming a little bit late, but I didn't want to do so many Spider-Man videos in a row. But today we're going to be taking a look at the newly announced Hot Toys, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm very, very excited to see Hot Toys finally reveal these guys, just like I was for the Marvel Legends as well as the SH Figure Arts. Now that we got this started, I ported all the files or the pictures over to my Google Drive, only because I was waiting for Big Bad Toy Store or Sideshow to put these guys up for pre-order so we can see all the images, because for some reason Hot Toys doesn't upload all of the images onto their Instagram. I don't know why. So I got these images straight from the Hot Toys website, and let me tell you, that website is sketchy as fuck, so whatever. But these ones are straight from their website. First up here, we got Andrew Garfield, looking pretty saucy. I've seen some issue with the size of the Andrew Garfield's nose. Completely understandable, but I do think that he's got a big of a schnoz. I should talk, but he's got a pretty good sized schnoz on him, so it doesn't bother me too much. I think overall it still looks pretty incredible, and I think the suit looks really good. You can definitely see right off the bat where Hot Toys has adjusted some things from the previous figure. Excuse me. If you remember the previous Amazing Spider-Man figure, they tried to do this thing where they had the hands connected to the wrists, and then basically instead of the hands being interchangeable, it was just the top part of the hand, like the fingertips and whatnot. It wasn't a completely bad system from what I could tell from the different videos that I watched. Overall, it just the seam, the lack of a seam. The lack of the seam being covered was overall the issue from what I could tell, but also I would imagine that dealing with breakage or anything like that would be a hassle, so I'm glad to see that they moved away from that and they went with just the regular interchangeable hands. Also, it looks like they changed up the pattern of the belt a little bit. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that Andrew Garfield actually doesn't have a point on the front of his belt. Like if you look at this old ass guy right here, you can see Spider-Man's generally got a point on his belt, as you can see right there. Andrew Garfield didn't really have that for his Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. It was pretty much stayed flat. It rounded just a slight bit, but pretty much just stayed flat. Hot Toys opted to give him a little bit of a point. Not that huge of a deal. It still looks incredible. Overall, I think this looks very, very sharp. They gave him the fabric on the neck, which I really do like. And of course, he's got his loose mask right here. And it looks like that the blue has that kind of overlay that a lot of the Tom Holland Spider-Mans have. I'm not entirely sure if the previous Amazing Spider-Man 1 had that, because if you take a look at the prototype of the original Hot Toys Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man, it was all it all had that kind of overlay on the blue and the red, but the final production version had a very just a regular red fabric, and then I think the blue was similar to this, but I'm not entirely sure. But moving on to the next image over here, to get a little bit of a closer up of Andrew's face. I'm not entirely sure what they're going for with the hair here. From what I can tell, it looks like it's the same sculpt as the Amazing Spider-Man 1 figure in terms of the hair, and I don't even think the hair was very accurate to Amazing Spider-Man 1 either. It was kind of, his hair did change throughout that movie, but in the Amazing Spider-Man 1, his hair was a lot more rough. This almost looks like a mixture between his Amazing Spider-Man 1 hair and his Amazing Spider-Man 2 hair. If you remember, he had a fade in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and No Way Home, he just has like it's all over the place. So it still works for me though. It still looks like Andrew Garfield. I actually prefer that they didn't sculpt it to look like No Way Home, because I think his No Way Home hair is just, I feel like it's just too wild. It's too crazy. There's too much of it. But overall here you can see, again, the overall portrait. I think it looks really good in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty good. I think it really does look like Andrew Garfield. The size of the nose doesn't really bother me. He doesn't look like anybody else to me, so I think that they achieved what they're going for. Again, I do like the neck. I like the fabric going up the neck. He's got 3 rows of the webbing, which is accurate to how much goes up his neck if you really pay attention to it. And also, the only thing I would say is that the spider looks like it's black. It might just be the lighting. The spider should be a gunmetal type gray. Not quite reflective gunmetal, but just kind of that, in that value range. Similar to the webbing, there's not a huge difference between the color of his webbing and his spider. They should both be kind of like a gunmetal grayish type color. I would show you one of the paintings that I'm working on, but I think at the moment his spider is still a really dark gray. But it shouldn't be flat out black, but it could be just the lighting. I'm not entirely sure. But overall, the brick pattern on both the blue and the red looks phenomenal. And also, the overall webbing looks really good, and the placement, everything looks pretty sharp. I actually plan on doing a Spider-Man suit ranking video, and to accompany that video, I plan on doing a Spider-Man, why I think that the Tasm 2 Spider-Man suit isn't Andrew's perfect suit. There is a gentleman on YouTube that did a video why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit isn't the perfect classic suit. His YouTube channel is Probably Spider-Man. I watched his video not too long ago, and a lot of the points that he brought up in the video, I actually do agree on why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit isn't a perfect classic suit. I have some more thoughts on that I plan on doing another video for, but there is one thing that he didn't mention in that video that I would have mentioned, is that I think the biggest reason for myself why I think the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit is a better suit for Andrew, not only does it make him stand out more, but even though the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is so beautiful and it's classic and it just looks amazing, I think its biggest flaw is how similar it is to the Raimi suits. It's got the brick pattern on both the blue and the red, which the original Raimi suits have. The spiders are very the spiders are very similar in the silhouette that they have. The grayish webbing, even though Raimi has more of a silver webbing, it's not black. Really, the thing that sets it apart the most is the bright blue eyes. Even the fabrics kind of being, the red fabric kind of being reflective is very similar to the Spider-Man 2 suit, having kind of a reflective quality in some lightings, but it does change a lot. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has definitely much more of a metallic, reflective quality into it. But overall, I think that's why the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit is a better suit for Andrew, because it just makes him more unique. It makes him stand out. He's got a brighter blue, he's got a darker red, but it's kind of like a dirty red, and there's blacks in areas, and it just looks like a worn suit. I like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit because it's shown progression in his character, and him having a more classic suit, I like that. But I think that they went too close with Raimi. It is too close to the Raimi suit in my opinion. But I still love the suit nonetheless. Next up here, we have this image right here of the suit looking really good with the webbing accessories. Definitely looks pretty good. Nothing to complain about there. Next up, we have this image right here. You can see the suit getting in some pretty cool positions. I also do like poses, I should say. I also do like the boots here. The boots look very accurate to the actual film, just like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Hot Toys one. Well, this is another Amazing Spider-Man 2, but the original version. Next up, you can see here, he comes with a dynamic flight pole, and also he's got that octagon style base. Excuse me. With the red background and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 spider. Tobey looks like he's going to get a very similar base, just with his logo, and it's going to say Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I really do like the subtitles or the branding that they gave to each Spider-Man, calling Tobey's the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and then calling Andrew's the Amazing Spider-Man. I do think that that was pretty clever of them to go ahead and do that. Here we get another image right here of Andrew in action, the figure in action, I should say. I really do like that. The specific hands that we've got to see so far, I am liking that as well. Again, here another image. So overall, I think Hot Toys has delivered on this for the most part. And here's the last image with all the accessories. You can see here the different webs that he's coming with, and the hands. It's a little bit hard to see. It's not the most crisp image, and I don't know what just came up, but the most crisp image. And it looks like this is going to fight with me, so I'm going to move on. Also, I really do like the webbing and the shape, or the eyes and the shape of the head. Hot Toys, I think, definitely nailed the shape of the head and the eyes. I think that's something, like, if you take a look at the Marvel Legends, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Marvel Legends figure, the original one, you can see that they definitely didn't nail Andrew Garfield's head or the shape of the eyes. Hot Toys has nailed it both times. Marvel Legends has nailed it this time, and I think SH Figure Arts is pretty damn close. And I think that's one of the things that sets Andrew apart. He's got a very distinctive head shape, and the eyes should be a certain shape as well in order to catch them perfectly. I do think that I got the eyes pretty well in that picture back there. It still needs some work, but I think that the eyes and his head shape have a very distinct look that really screams Andrew when you get it right. And then moving on to this is the lizard base, and from what my understanding is I believe you can get the Tasm 2 figure by itself, and then you can get a pack with, or the deluxe version with the figure and the base, and then I believe you can get the base separately. That's what my understanding is. I haven't seen any prices. I wanted a Toys at Wonderland, and I know that they're the only place that I've seen so far that has it on pre-order, but I don't remember what the prices are off the top of my head. So just going with this, I think the base looks really cool. We get a little bit of hint of Electro in there, similar to the the integrated suit deluxe base, where you got a little bit of hint of Green Goblin and a little hint of Doc Ock. This one's got the same kind of effect going on. I think the lizard looks really good. However, I prefer his overall design in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 more. I think he looks a lot better. I think they kind of dumbed him down in No Way Home in terms of his overall aesthetic and just his character in general. But I really do like this base. I think Hot Toys did a phenomenal job with the sculpting and the paintwork. Again, Andrew looks really good off to the side there. But the rubble, the support beams, the pipes, the electricity, everything looks really, really good here. And it would be really cool to see all of these dioramas that they're doing all next to each other. And right there you can see that little water bottle, which is Dr. Connor's cure. So that's pretty cool that you get that as well. I have seen some people say that they wanted the actual lizard figure to be its own figure. I completely understand that, and I don't disagree, but I think with what they've done here, it's very clever. I mean, we've seen them do it before with Sandman, and I would assume that when they release the Toby figure, they're going to announce a Sandman base as well. It's going to be kind of an homage to the Spider-Man 3 base, as well as just being Sandman's inclusion into this set. I don't think Sandman's going to get a figure, and I don't think Lizard's going to get a figure down the road either. Just because, I mean, if you really think about it, Hot Toys would have to put a lot of work into building a functional buck for Lizard to kind of work out properly. I haven't seen them do anything that's kind of more reptile-based like that, where they'd have to work around certain things. I could be incorrect about that. From what I've seen, I haven't seen them have to do that before. In terms of having and making the skin look real and have it move properly, I'm not entirely sure if they've done anything like that before, but from what I know, I don't think they have. Again, the base looks really, really good. It's painted really well. The sculpting, whoever sculpted this did a phenomenal job. You can see some of the airbrushing in here, some of the shading in here, the highlights and the different tones and textures and values in the colors. It looks really, really good. And they did capture that detail where the right hand has just 3 fingers. I really like that detail in the actual movie, where the full-on lizard hand is more reptilian than the actual Dr. Connor's hand. So I do like that. That was a detail that I appreciated from the original film. And then right here, here's a back shot, and you can see Andrew coming in. It looks pretty good. I've got to say that I'm pretty excited about this. Here's the base by itself, and you can see that it does come with a dynamic flight pole for any of which 3 of the Spider-Man that you choose to put onto it. And then here's a few more shots of both Andrew and the lizard. And right here you get a good look at that. These photos aren't the highest quality straight off of the website. I'm not entirely sure why that is the case, but I still think that the base looks incredible nonetheless from what I can tell. And it does look like, I don't see any dimensions on any of these images, but it does look like it's going to be a good size. Now, right over here with the quote-unquote accessories, it looks like they highlight his hand. I don't think that actually is anything to do with an interchangeable hand. I think they're just showing the fact that they paid attention to that detail with the 3 fingers. I don't think it has anything to do with any interchangeable hand. Excuse me. And this is the last image right there. So yeah. Alright guys, so with that being said, I am very excited for both this Andrew figure and the lizard diorama. I can't wait to see what Hot Toys has in store for the Tobey Maguire figure once they fully reveal it and everything that it comes with and all of that good stuff. But that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe hit that notification bell. It would be greatly appreciated. And of course, until next time, true believers.